Welcome back on this Business Wednesday. We are going to take a look at finances. How have Americans' financial priorities changed throughout the pandemic? What can you do to make sure that you have the savings, the financial backing that you need in case the unexpected happens? Well, I spoke with a financial expert, Marcy Keckler, recently. Let's find out what she had to say.
A new study finds 6 in 10 people say the pandemic has heightened the importance of protecting their finances. What's more, the pandemic has motivated people to take actions that they often put off, such as completing wills or estate plans. Here to tell us more about this is Marcy Keckler, Vice President of Financial Advice Strategy at Ameriprise Financial. Marcy, thanks for being here on Park City Television.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure to join you.
What is the Financial Priority Study, and what are some key findings?
We conducted this study because now that we're, little over a year into this global pandemic experience, we really wanted to understand, it's affected so many parts of our lives, but how has it affected people's financial lives, their financial priorities, how they're saving, spending, and investing? And we learned a few interesting things. First, the financial effects of this pandemic have been quite uneven. Some people have had tremendous adverse financial impact, whether from a job loss or other income disruption, and other people have had less financial impact. Maybe, no changes in income, maybe other shifts in their lives, and certainly other stressors. But regardless of how impacted people have been, what we learned is that this experience really has been a wake-up call for everyone. And it has caused people to shift their focus and think differently about finances. And as you mentioned in the introduction, about 6 out of 10 people told us they're much more focused now than they were before on how they can protect their financial assets. And about that same proportion also said they're much more focused on how to be prepared for future financial uncertainty and surprises, which of course this pandemic certainly was.
And what about individuals who traditionally invest? Have their financial priorities shifted because of the pandemic?
We did see that people have said they're more focused on saving overall, as well as more focused on investing. Just under half of people said they're really a little bit more focused on that investments side of their financial lives. We also did hear that people are focused on making some changes in things that are often put off. So we learned that people who didn't previously have an emergency fund or a rainy day fund, 63% of those people told us that this experience has been a catalyst to get one started and to take action on that. Another really important step that people sometimes put off is doing a will, an estate plan, other legal documents. And 44% of people who didn't have that in place told us this experience has been a trigger to do that as well. And that is a great step to take at any time. But certainly, I think the importance has been heightened as we've seen so much unexpected change in health circumstance happen to so many people.
And with these shifting financial priorities, what changes are people making?
In addition to that emergency fund and will or estate plan, we also see an increased interest in getting help from a financial professional. About 30% of people who weren't already working with a financial professional said this experience has really caused them to either get started or to intend to do so quite soon. And the people in our study who already were working with a financial professional reported that that person was really a help and a support to them to inform decisions and to really help them get through this challenging process. And then finally, we see people telling us they're having a lot more conversations about money among family members. 30% of people said they're having more conversation between parents and children, typically adult children. But also about 1 in 4 people said they're having more conversations with their spouse or partner about long-term financial goals and financial priorities. And interestingly, even among siblings, for people who have siblings, and I certainly have 3 of them, people in our study, about 1 in 4 said that they're having more conversations with their siblings about finances, either their own or in some cases their parents, which makes sense as families think about coming together and supporting each other through what can be really challenging times.
What other steps can we take to protect our financial well-being?
I think one of the things to do is to open up lines of communication with your loved ones, but also I do want to say there are concrete steps around, wills and estate planning that makes sense for everybody to take. I think it can be a myth that the only people who need estate plans are people who have really large amounts of financial resources. And that's actually not true. It's really important for everyone to pay attention to that. And I'll mention a few specific things that I think can really make a difference. Number one is making sure you've identified at all your financial institutions a beneficiary who you want to get those resources in case something happens to you. Doing that, particularly even on things like your checking account, can make such a difference so that your family and loved ones can get quick and easy access to those financial resources that they might need without having to go through a time-consuming process with court. But even other concrete practical steps like making sure your family members know where to find important documents, that they know how to access things like your social media accounts, your online access to any financial accounts. Those are all important steps of doing estate planning that go above and beyond legal documents. And then finally, it's really important to establish through a healthcare power of attorney who you would want to make decisions about your healthcare in the unfortunate possibility that you might not be able to express those wishes on your own. That's another important part of estate planning. And all of those steps can help you and your family feel greater peace of mind, knowing you're prepared if something unexpected happens.
Marcy, where can we get more information?
We've got lots of great information, including how people can take further steps to build a strong financial foundation at our website, ameriprise.com/priorities.
Thank you so much, Marcy Keckler, for joining us today here on Park City Television and helping us understand our shifting financial priorities and have a strong financial foundation right now. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you.